I come to you with no makeup, just lipstick, because lipstick is the most important part. I just finished doing my hair. I'm wearing pajamas actually, but my roommate left, so I figured when else am I gonna film my November TBR? So here I am. I took off my glasses just for you guys, even though I'm blind, but for this video I don't really need to see that well, so it's fine. Also, I'd like to point out the lights in the background. This is my bookshelf. I just wanted to point it out because I don't know, you can't really see them and they're really cute, and I don't really know why I have the lights in the first place, but I just wanted to point that out. Also, my bookshelf is empty, not because I don't own any books, but because all my books are in boxes that I'm staring at that I've yet to put on my bookshelf. I was planning to do like a bookshelf reorganization video, but I get exhausted just thinking about it. All the books that are on my shelf are books that I got since moving, which I don't know what that says about me, since it's a whole shelf full, but it's fine. And also, I just wanted to slide this in, but my channel survey is still up in case you wanted to take it. I'm just gonna use all of the feedback I get to like make changes for my channel for the upcoming year, and hopefully it'll be great. But yeah, if you haven't taken it already, please take it. The more like data I have, the better for me and my channel, and the better for you watching my channel. So yeah, just wanted to slide that in here. Here's my November TBR. We have categories, as I usually do in my TBRs. First category is the books that I'm currently reading. Lifelike by J. Kristoff. I got this as an ARC in May. I'm currently reading it now, so clearly I'm late, but now I got the audiobook of it, so I probably will be listening to that after I finish the other book that I'm currently reading, which I'll talk about in a second. But Lifelike is, I'm not really sure what it's about because I'm only 8% through and I haven't read the synopsis in a while, and what I thought it was about doesn't really seem to be what it's about. But right now we're following a girl whose name I forgot, who fights like robots or something in a future world. That's important. So it's like post-apocalyptic, dystopian, not sure, but there are robot fights. She's poor. That's all I got, really. The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. This was my random pick for last month. I just started it, really. The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is a very famous book. I'm sure you've heard of it, and if you haven't, again, I'm only like 20 minutes into the audiobook. It seems kind of different than what I thought it was, so I don't really know how to give a synopsis, so I won't. The next category of books that I want to read are ARCs, or advanced reader's copies, which are books that were sent to me from the publisher or the author for review. First, I have Well-Read Black Girl by Glory Edom. From what I have gathered, this is kind of an essay collection from various authors about being Black women who read, or being an educated Black woman. It's supposed to be about that experience. So I'm really interested in this because I'm a well-read Black girl. And some of the authors I think are pretty well known. I forgot who all of them are and I didn't write them down, but I know that there are some that like I've at least heard of, and probably you have. And I got this ARC from NetGalley in exchange for an honest review, and it actually just came out. It came out on October 30th, so it is still pretty new. And yeah, if you haven't heard of it and want to check it out, definitely do that. Girls Resist by Kaylin Rich. I was just like on a roll of requesting books about activism for kids on NetGalley at some point earlier in the year, so this is like the last book that's left from that. It's just a younger person's guide to like activism, I think. And the last ARC that I'm going to attempt to read this month is Bad with Money by Gabby Dunn. Gabby Dunn is a YouTuber and comedian, writer kind of person now. I don't know what she calls herself now, but in the olden times, like a year ago, well, they still run the YouTube channel. Anyway, the point is, I know of her because her and another person run a YouTube channel called Just Between Us. So I watch that YouTube channel and really love it. Gabby on her own or with another person, I'm not sure, runs a podcast called Bad with Money, where she talks about all the mistakes she makes with money and things like that. I don't listen to the podcast because I don't really like long podcasts, and that's one of those like hour to like hour and a half long podcasts. But I've heard it's really good, and I really like Gabby Dunn as a person. So I requested this from NetGalley and I got it. And the book is just supposed to be like the podcast in book form, I think, just with like more tips and stuff. So I'm excited to read it. I've been really on a kick of reading like financial advice, but for millennials. And then we're gonna talk about 3 books that I just picked up off my shelves because I looked at them and I was like, yeah, I really want to read you this month. So the first book is Pride by Ibby's a Boy. I just got this in my Owl Crate. I'll have that unboxing linked down below and in the cards. And this is the Owl Crate exclusive edition, which is why it's pink instead of the blue-green color. And it's still really pretty. This is a bookmark. So yeah, still really pretty, still looks good. This is one of my most anticipated books of the year, and I'm really excited to be reading it. Pride is a Pride and Prejudice retelling with 2 Black main characters, and it's about a girl whose neighborhood is getting gentrified, and that's kind of the backdrop for the story, and I'm super excited to read it. I've heard nothing but good things about it, and I'm excited to read. As a fan of Pride and Prejudice and as a fan of Black people, I'm really, really excited about it. So I'm definitely going to be talking about this in my November wrap up. Maybe I'll even do an individual review. I'm unsure. It Devours by Joseph Fink and Jeffrey Cranor. This is the second book in the Welcome to Night Vale series, kind of. Welcome to Night Vale is a podcast written also by these people, and I love that podcast. I read the first book that they came out with a couple years ago. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the podcast, as I mentioned. So they came out with the second book last year, and my friend got it for me for Christmas, and I have yet to read it. So I figured now's a good time. The 2 books are not related at all, other than that they're set in the same world. This one I think is about religion. Yeah, I think this is about like religion kind of, but like it's gonna have like ideas about religion, but like religion in here is fake. So it's just like the ideas. It says that it's a page-turning mystery about faith and science, the growing relationship between 2 young people who want desperately to trust each other, and the terrifying toothy power of the smiling god. That's all you need from that, I think. It has purple edges as well. It's a beautiful book, and yeah, I'm excited to be reading that. And lastly, for my TBR, we have my random picks. If you don't know, I explain this in every TBR video, but every month I use a random number generator combined with your comments and pick 3 books off my Goodreads TBR, and then of those 3 books, I read one of them. So if you want to be part of this, leave me a number between 1 and 401 down below, and I'll use your numbers to get my random picks for next month. So my random picks for this month were Under the Never Sky by Veronica Rossi. I know this is a dystopian. I have the ebook, I feel like, because it was on sale at one point. I don't really know what the dystopian theme is though, so I can't tell you about it. Little Monsters by Kara Thomas. This is a thriller, mystery thriller, something like that. I think it's about a girl who moves to a new town and becomes friends with new people, and then her new friends like have a party and don't invite her, but then one of her friends goes missing, and something happens from there. That's all I know, but it does sound interesting from what I've heard from other people. This was honestly probably a better book for October because like spooky, but like I've said before, I'm not really a themed reader, so it doesn't really matter to me. And my last random pick was The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. This has been on my TBR for quite a while. If you've been on BookTube for any amount of time, I'm sure you've heard of this book and the series. I know it follows Blue and some people who go to a private school, and I know that Blue has a prophecy where the boy she loves, he'll die. I think that's the prophecy. Don't quote me, but it sounds really interesting. Of the 3 books that were randomly picked, I am leaning towards either Little Monsters or The Raven Boys. I'd have to dig The Raven Boys out of a box. I don't know where it is, but yeah. And also included in my TBR, but not quite included, I do get a bunch of audiobooks from my library just from requesting things and having things on hold. So those are also on my TBR, but I don't know those books yet because they haven't come in yet, you know. If you see a book in my November wrap up that wasn't in this video, it was probably an audiobook that I like got later in the month because of how holds work at the library. So those are all the books that I'm going to mention in this video, all the books that I'm planning to read in November. Hopefully I get to them all. How many books is that technically? That's like 8 books. Hopefully I read all 8. because only one of the random picks has to be read. So thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you have any opinions about any of the books that I mentioned in this video, please be sure to leave a comment down below. Also a number between 1 and 401. If you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell so you can get notified every time I post. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye. 29, 33. 3 more days. Did I press record?